Hello and welcome. You're watching Market Meter on Money 9. I'm Sakshi, Batra, and in this show, we get you all the updates from the markets in the first half of trading session and also get you introduced to a fundamental expert who explains to you how should you really approach the markets currently and what should be the strategy that you must adopt. Joining us today is a very special guest, Mr. Kranthi Bathini from WealthMills Securities joins in. Kranthi, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining in. First up, let me begin by understanding from you, how are you looking at the markets currently? Of course, we have been seeing that the markets have been trading amid a whole lot of volatility amid the last few trading sessions as well as today. And there's a bit of consolidation that's happening in the markets. After the strong move in the markets that we had seen in February, in March, we've largely seen consolidation happen. So what would you suggest the investors should do in a current market scenario like this?
You're absolutely correct, Sakshi. Markets are in a consolidation phase after experiencing a tremendous rally in past 3 months. Of course, markets also in line following the global cues due to the rise in the bond yields in US markets also in a consolidation phase. In line with the global cues, Indian markets following the global cues at present, and they are in the consolidation phase. But if we observe one thing in India, markets are in a complete narrow range. As I have been sharing with the upside is slightly capped in the near term in the next couple of weeks, and also at the same point of time, the downside also capped with respect to Indian markets are concerned. So markets finds strong support level at 15,000 Nifty at present, and we expect the market to hover around till the earnings season kickstarts in next couple of weeks time as we enter into the first week of April. The next trajectory of Indian markets.
Okay, so the next big domestic trigger will be the earnings, and which we'll have to just wait for. But for now, I also wanted to understand from you, how are you looking at this whole your passage of US stimulus package as well as, now the movement is happening. And do you expect some money to actually flow into the emerging markets, especially in India? And with respect to the foreign institutional activity as well, how are the markets really poised to take that going forward?
Sakshi, if we see the history for Indian markets, foreign portfolio investors are the fuel for our market. As we have been witnessing a flush and gush of liquidity into Indian markets from past 6 months, if we categorize the quality of money that's coming into Indian markets, if we analyze the data, there are always three types of categories of foreign portfolio investors that funds that invest in Indian markets. The first category is category one. It is led by sovereign funds and the university monies, and also these are the pension funds, which have a time horizon more than 7 to 10 years horizon. Okay. Whereas the second category is more of a exchange traded funds and endowment funds, and third category is the family offices and small funds. But if we see the quality of money that came into Indian markets in past 3 to 4 months, 85% of the money came from the category one of the foreign portfolio investors, which is going to stay for a longer period of time in Indian markets. And from this, 60 to 70% of the money went into banking and financial services. Yeah. So when the money went into banking and financial services, the portfolio investors and the fund managers, they are expecting there is a buoyancy and the growth that's going to come back into Indian markets. That's the reason most of the money flow went into banking and financial services. So if as you rightly said, if there is a bond yields goes up in US markets, of course there is some kind of a knee-jerk reaction will be there due to the sudden spurt in the bond yields. But since we have a quality of money, and also with the domestic institutional investors also, they have been rising their cash levels. So that will rescue, we can say, rescue the downside in the Indian markets. So if there is any knee-jerk reaction comes, that is a very good opportunity for Indian retail investors to cherry pick the stocks at all the spectrum of Indian market.
Okay. Also, when you talk about some specific sectors, I also wanted to touch base on banking space, which you just talked about. I wanted to discuss with you because, most of the experts, there's a whole lot of debate happening that how 2020 was a year when the IT stocks performed. Of course, they have been showing some buoyancy in the last two trading sessions, including today as well. Do you think that in 2021 it will be largely the financials, the banking space that will lead the rally, or will it also be the IT space that will start gearing up after a bit of consolidation seen in the last month?
Sakshi, with respect to as we witness the global data across the globe, it is evident that the growth is coming back across the globe, and it can be the North American region and European region. They are in the wedge of entering into the growth trajectory. As the economies enter into growth trajectory, the companies in these regions they're going to increase their IT budgets. So the mid as well as the large cap IT stocks, they're going to outperform in the days to come, and we are quite bullish and overweight with respect to the mid cap IT stocks are concerned, because we believe these are well positioned, with the mid cap ITs in well positioned to participate in the future growth.
Okay. Also, I wanted to ask you that, we have seen that there is a low interest rate scenario that is existing in the country. Of course, high affordability is also there, which is actually leading to a revival in the housing market as well. Are you finding any, attractiveness in this particular sector or related sector to the real estate? Should investors really look at it as a potential, which they should tap on to in the year 2021?
Yes, of course, if we observe the data, real estate was in a complete bad shape past 5 years. But we could expect some kind of a revival that's coming back with respect to real estate is concerned. So, my advice to the investors is stick to the large caps, real estate companies, which have less debt ratio. Probably in your coming shows, we can discuss about
Sure.
stock specific real estate stocks are concerned. But
Sure.
at present, we are exploring the opportunities with respect to real estate stocks, which have a less exposure to the debt, and how because it's a larger play. Who are going to benefit the companies which have more exposure towards the mid-tier cities or the metros. So this whole lot of debate is happening at present. Of course, overall the real estate sector looks good. With respect to stocks are concerned, we can discuss in the next coming your
Sure.
shows.
Absolutely, absolutely, sure. Let's actually talk about one stock that you had recommended and it has become one of your star picks on our show on Money 9. I wanted to discuss with you on Subex especially. I remember that on 3rd of February you had given this stock as a recommendation for investors to buy for the long term. 24.9 rupees was the price then, and it has shot up over 60% already. So how are you looking at this stock, and congratulations first up for this star pick of yours. How should investors who are looking to add on to this stock now after the strong run up, what would be your advice to them? And for those who had bought after your recommendation, what would you suggest to them now?
First of all, congratulations to all those investors who hearkened to my voice and invested in this stock. And if you are invested in this stock, congratulations to you. The stock have witnessed a tremendous rally in past 1.5 months time, 45 days time. So since the stock has run up nearly 60% in past 2 months, and if we observe the past history of this stock in last 1 year, the stock have really multiplied and created real wealth to the investors with very good volumes.
Correct.
This Subex is a telecom and a technology major. Uh, it's a complete turnaround story with respect to Indian telecom story is concerned. Subex, the stock is going to take advantage of the future coming 5G technology is concerned, and also the stock, the company have launched various platforms. Recently, they launched a platform like artificial intelligence. So these are the next future growth drivers for this company. And the best news for this stock is the company CEO, who was there from the inception of the company. He got the extension of next 3 years to lead this company into the further growth trajectory. These are the positive set of news that are triggering and around this stock. Company is a zero debt company. So Subex at present is in a best position to lead into the further growth trajectory. Having said that, uh, investors can book a little bit of profit from the table. They can book around 10 to 15% of their portfolio uh, uh, as a profit at this time, and use any dip in the stock to re-enter again.
Okay, okay, fine. And let's also now come to your today's stock recommendations. What would you really recommend investors to add on to their portfolio as of today?
Sakshi, as we have been witnessing, there is a uh, global rally, and also we are discussing about the global super cycle with respect to metal stocks are concerned. So we have a diversified mixed company that's called Rain Industries. The company operates in three major segments. One is carbon, advanced materials, and also they have a cement segment also. So the Subex, the Rain Industries. One of their major raw material is they produce what their one of their key product is calcium coke, which is used as a key raw material in aluminum and alumina. So as the global growth cycle is a revival, the specialty chemicals and the carbon and also the cement, as we discussed about the housing sector revival, they have a cement segment which is one of the key player in South India. So altogether, the company is in a best position to take the advantage of the future growth in the economy. So investors can buy at every dip, and at the current levels of Rain Industries, the company can deliver 25% returns from the current price levels.
Okay, fine. So Rain Industries is something that you can look to add on to for a long-term perspective. 20-25% upside can also be expected over the next 12 months or so. Let's move on to speak to some of the other stock recommendations that you've already spoken about also on our show. But there is something that you would want to reiterate, especially from the pharma space. I remember you had spoken about Wockhardt Pharma before also. What would be your recommendation as of today on that?
uh, Wockhardt in a best position to take the advantage of the current COVID vaccine drive across the globe, and they got a they renewed the contract with the government of UK for nearly $200 million for the COVID vaccine. So Wockhardt in the next few quarters they are going to increase their cash levels, and they're going to become net cash positive with respect to their earnings. So with respect to the valuations, Wockhardt stands at a very compelling value present. So we educate the investors to buy Wockhardt at every dip, and also the current level is a very good entry level to accumulate Wockhardt at this current juncture.
Okay, so the current levels of Wockhardt Pharma can be used to accumulate this for long-term perspective with the strong fundamentals and the positive triggers that may follow in the future as well. From the auto component space, what is the bet that you're looking at, and what would you advise investors to do?
Sakshi, it is all about the growth revival across the globe. As the growth is coming back, and people are talking about inflationary things. So one of the major beneficiary will be, the first is the financial sector, and the second is the automobile sector. So we have one automobile OEM from India which have the global exposure across the globe is Motherson Sumi. The stock is currently trading at 220 levels. We advise investors to accumulate this stock for a longer term uh, basis, and with a time horizon of more than 1 year. And Motherson Sumi is in a best position to deliver the best returns to investors. The stock have a unmatchable management in India, and it is one of the best stock with respect to auto OEMs. Uh, and The stock, the company have always they defined their vision, and the current vision of this company 2025 to become one of the global major with respect to auto OEMs are concerned. So it's a good level to enter and accumulate Mothers and Sumi at these levels, and also at every dip.
To add, Motherson Sumi, also to your portfolio if you're looking to play the auto component space as well. Thank you very much, Kranthi, for joining us on this very special show, sharing your stock recommendations with our viewers, as well as your market outlook in the current scenario as well. Hope to catch you soon on Money 9. The pleasure is ours as well. Thank you so much, Kranthi, for joining in. Let's move on to understand how the markets are trading at the moment. Remember, they have definitely come off the high point of the day. Remember, we had opened with a gap up at 51,400 around levels for the Sensex, but we've cooled off a bit. 51,151 is the current level at which the Sensex is currently moving at, with just quarter percentage move upwards. The Nifty is holding up its gains of over 15,130 right now, with just about 0.20% uptick at the moment. Remember, we were 0.5% up in the first half of trading session, but remember, today again is the weekly expiry as well, and that may play its part in the second half of trading session. So watch out for some bit of volatility really taking place. Nifty Bank now, interestingly, is now slipping into the red as well. So keep an eye out on that one. A while back, we did see that the PSU banking space was the laggard that was causing the dip in the Nifty Bank overall. It has now slipped below the 36,000 level as well. 35,840 is the current level at which the निफ्टी बैंक इज ट्रेडिंग एट. अगर आप ब्रॉडर मार्केट्स की बात करेंगे तो थोड़ा बहुत बेहतर ट्रेड यहां पर परफॉर्म होते हुए नजर आ रहा है. स्मॉल कैप सेक्टर में अगर आप देखेंगे तो आधे प्रतिशत तक की तेजी के साथ बीएसई स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स अभी परफॉर्म कर रहा है. 104 पॉइंट्स के यहां पर एडिशन हुआ है. वहीं मिड कैप सेक्टर की अगर आप बात करेंगे तो 0.33% तक के अपटिक्स के साथ बीएसई मिड कैप 20,580 के लेवल्स पर फिलहाल के लिए ट्रेड करता हुआ नजर आ रहा है. बात करते हैं कि प्राइमरी मार्केट स्पेस में किस तरीके का एक्शन आपको देखने को मिल रहा है. इजी ट्रिप प्लानर्स का आखिरी दिन है सब्सक्रिप्शन का. ये आईपीओ ऑलरेडी काफी अच्छा परफॉर्म कर चुका है. इसमें इन्वेस्टर्स का काफी इंटरेस्ट देखने को मिला है. पहले ही 2 दिनों में, इनफैक्ट फर्स्ट डे में ही ये ओवर सब्सक्राइब होता हुआ नजर आया था. अब थर्ड डे में अगर आप 12:15 साढ़े 12 तक के लेवल्स देखेंगे तो ये ऑलमोस्ट 12 टाइम सब्सक्राइब होता हुआ नजर आ रहा है. हालांकि ये एक ओएफएस के जरिए आईपीओ लॉन्च हुआ है. 186 to 187 रुपीज पर शेयर का इसका प्राइस बैंड जो है वो फिक्स हुआ है और इशू आज ही बंद होने वाला है. तो इसके ऊपर अभी भी आपके पास समय है. अगर आपको ये सब्सक्राइब करना है आईपीओ और जानना चाहते हैं कि एक्सपर्ट्स की क्या राय है तो money9.com पर जाकर एक्सपर्ट व्यूज और साथ ही ब्रोकरेज हाउसेस के रिकमेंडेशंस पढ़ सकते हैं, जिसके बाद एक इन्फॉर्म डिसीजन आप ले सकते हैं. चलिए इसी के साथ इस खास शो को यही समेटते हैं, लेकिन लगातार मार्केट कवरेज का और पर्सनल फाइनेंस का एक्शन जारी रहेगा. तो बनी रहिए मनी 9 के साथ.